Hello, second graders, and welcome to week 6, lesson 27. It's me, Miss B, and I'll be your virtual teacher today. Let's go ahead and get started with today's lesson. Let's start today's lesson with a review of some familiar high-frequency words. We are going to read throughout. This word is throughout. Read with me, throughout. Read the word with me again, throughout. When you see this word, you will say throughout. Go ahead and read this word one more time. This word is, yep, that's right. This word is throughout. Please give me a big wave if you were able to read the word throughout correctly. Our next word is endure. This word is pronounced endure. Read with me, endure. Read the word with me again, endure. When you see this word, you will say endure. Your turn, partners. Go ahead, read this word. That's right, this word is endure. Come on and wave at me if you were able to read the word endure correctly. Our next word is birthday. This word is pronounced birthday. Read with me, birthday. Read the word with me again, birthday. When you see this word, you will say birthday. All right, your turn. What's this word? Yep, that's right, birthday. Go ahead and give me a high five if you were able to read the word birthday correctly. Next, we are going to read available. This word is available. Read with me, available. Read the word with me again, available. When you see this word, you will say available. Your turn, guys. What's this word? Yep, that's right. This word is available. Give me a fist bump if you were able to read the word available correctly. Our next word is although. This word is pronounced although. Read with me, although. Read the word with me again, although. When you see this word, you will say although. Your turn, guys. What's this word? Yep, although. Go ahead and let's have a quick dance party if you were able to read the word although correctly. We are going to read yourself. This word is yourself. Read with me, yourself. Read the word with me again, yourself. When you see this word, you will say yourself. All right, guys, your turn. What's this word? That's right, yourself. All right, guys, give me a big wave if you were able to read the word yourself correctly. We are going to read doesn't. This word is pronounced doesn't. Read with me, doesn't. Read the word with me again, doesn't. When you see this word, you will say doesn't. All right, superstar second graders, it's your turn to read. What's this word? Awesome job. This word is doesn't. Give me a huge smile if you were able to read the word doesn't correctly. We are going to read frequent. This word is frequent. Read with me, frequent. Read the word with me again, frequent. When you see this word, you will say frequent. All right, partners, go ahead, read this word. What's this word? That's right, this word is frequent. Give me a high five if you were able to read the word frequent correctly. All right, guys, now it's time to practice reading and writing words. Before we get started, you may want to grab a sheet of paper or your journal so you can have somewhere to write. Pause this video if you need to go gather your supplies. Ready? All right, let's get started. Let's practice reading and writing words. Write another in your journal. Say the word another as you write it. Another. Remember, guys, the word another means more than one. All right, let's move on to our next word. Our next word is inside. Write the word inside in your journal. Say the word inside out loud as you write it. Remember, guys, inside means that you are in a place. Let's move on. Our next word is isn't. Write the word isn't. Say the word isn't as you write it. Remember that isn't is short for is not. Our next word is pretty. Write pretty. Say the word pretty out loud as you write it. Let me hear you. Pretty is a word to tell how someone or something looks, and it's very favorable. Our next word is process. Write process. Say the word process out loud as you write it. A process are the steps to complete something. Next up is the word similar. Write similar. Say the word similar out loud as you write it. Similar means something is like something else. Our next word is usually. Write usually. Say the word usually out loud as you write it. Usually is something that you do a lot. Next up is the word your. Write your. Say the word your out loud as you write it. Your is short for you are.
Gather us together, together, together. It's time to hear a story, a story, a story. It's time to hear a story and say what you learned.
All right, second graders, please read our opening learning targets with me. I can tell what I learned from the text, the life cycle of moths and butterflies. Using evidence from the text, I can answer questions about the engagement text, the life cycle of moths and butterflies. All right, guys, here's today's engagement text entitled The Life Cycle of Moths and Butterflies. I'm going to read this engagement text, but please pay very close attention because I'm going to ask you some comprehension questions after I finish reading. Butterflies and moths are insects. They are called advanced insects because they have a complete life cycle. This means that each of the 4 stages of their life cycle looks completely different and serves a different purpose in the insect's life. Here are the 4 stages. Number 1, egg. The first stage is the egg stage. A female butterfly or moth lays an egg, usually attached to a leaf or stem. Number 2, larva. A caterpillar or larva hatches out of the egg. A caterpillar is a worm-like creature that has legs. A caterpillar usually has some sort of interesting pattern on its body and sometimes has small hairs. This stage is when the most frequent feeding and most rapid growth occur. The larva sheds its skin several times to allow for the growth. Number 3, pupa. The chrysalis or pupa stage is when the real transformation begins. During this stage, the caterpillar rests and forms a brown or green covering over its body. The structure of the caterpillar breaks down and begins to take the form of an adult insect while it is inside the chrysalis. Number 4, adult. The imago, or adult stage, is the last stage. A beautiful butterfly or moth emerges from the pupa. During this stage, the insect is most mobile and can mate and lay eggs. Adult butterflies and moths may also migrate. All right, second graders. So I warned you, I have a few questions I'd like to ask you about what I just read. Remember though, you can pause and rewind this video at any time if you need to go back to the text to pick out evidence. All right, let's go ahead with our questions. Number 1, what are the 4 stages in the life cycle of butterflies and moths? Come on, yeah, say it all loud. I want to hear you. Okay, cool. Number 2, why do you think the larva needs to shed its skin? Great answer. Awesome. Okay, let's go on to question number 3. What questions do you have about the life cycle of butterflies and moths? Awesome questions. Give yourselves a round of applause for answering all of our comprehension questions correctly. All right, guys, now let's take a deeper dive into the vocabulary and language used in the life cycle of butterflies and moths. Number 1, in the text, we learned that the pupa stage is when the real transformation begins. What does the word transformation mean? Okay. I had the same answer. Number 2, the adult butterfly emerges from its chrysalis as an adult. How can you describe the word emerges? What exactly does that word mean? Awesome job! All right, second graders, give yourselves another round of applause if you were able to answer our vocabulary and language questions.
It's time to grab, baby, grab, baby, grab, baby, grab, baby, grab, baby, grab, baby, grab. Is it a snap or a trap? Think about it and back it up. Think about it and back it up. Is it a snap or a trap? It's going to be hard, but think about it and make a start.
All right, guys, please help me in reading our work time learning targets. I can read high-frequency words that are a snap and play fair and words that are a trap and don't play fair. All right, superstars, please turn to page 123 in your distance learning packet. There you will find today's snap or trap activity. Before we start our activity, let's go ahead and read our words out loud. Another, inside, isn't, pretty, process, similar, usually, your. All right, awesome job reading. You guys, we've been doing this for a few weeks, so you know the drill. It's your job to put these words in the snap column if you think they're easy to read or if they're spelled exactly how they're read, and then place the words in the trap column that are a little tricky and they might not play fair. Again, we're on page 123 in our distance learning packet. Pause the video, get to work. I'll meet you back here in a few. See you soon. All right, welcome back, superstars. As always, you know I'm going to ask you to show me your snap or trap T-chart. But before we start, I want to give a quick disclaimer. Remember that your list does not have to look exactly like my list. So don't stress out if our lists are not identical. My list, I just listed words that I thought were a snap and a trap, but you may have found different words that ended up in different categories. So don't stress out if our lists do not look exactly the same. All right, now that's enough of me talking. Let me see your list. Great, I'm seeing some similarities between the two. All right, as always, you show yours, I'll show mine. Here's my list. In the snap column, I recorded the words another, inside, isn't, and process. I felt like all of these words were a snap and that they were pretty easy to read because they're read exactly how they're spelled. They didn't give me any drama. But there are some words that did, and I put them in the trap column. Here are those words. You're, pretty, usually. Let me explain. So your is a contraction, meaning it's made up of two words, which are you and are. Your sounds exactly like your, which is spelled Y-O-U-R, which is more possessive, meaning it's your book. So confusing. Two words sound exactly the same, but they're spelled differently. I think we've been talking about those. Those are called homophones. But I felt that it was a trap. All right. Also, for the word pretty. Pretty. It has an E, but it makes that short I sound. Pretty. Trap. All right. And I talked about this one, I believe, last week. Usually, remember when we see two vowels together, they usually form a vowel team, which means they make one sound. But you see the U and the A, and usually they're not even in the same syllable. No vowel team there, which is definitely a trap. All right, guys, let's move on.
Now you will read a story, a story, a story. Now you will read a story with words that you know.
All right, please help me read our second set of our work time learning targets. I can read and understand the decodable text, The Life Cycle of Moths and Butterflies. Please turn to page 116 in your distance learning packet. There you will find this week's decodable reader entitled The Life Cycle of Moths and Butterflies. All right, students, let's go ahead. Please follow along with me as I read. Do you think butterflies and moths are animals or insects? You're right. Butterflies and moths are both insects. Butterflies and moths are similar to each other. They both have wings with pretty patterns, they can both fly, and they both have 4 stages of life. The first stage is the egg. A mother butterfly or moth lays an egg on a leaf, a stem, or on another object. The second stage is the larva. This is also called a caterpillar. A caterpillar is sort of like a worm with legs. It eats a lot and grows very quickly. The third stage is the pupa. While inside the pupa, the caterpillar begins to transform into a butterfly or moth. The adult stage is the last stage. The caterpillar has turned into an adult butterfly or moth. The adult has wings. The wings usually have a pretty pattern on them. The adult is able to mate and lay eggs. Isn't this process amazing? Can you think of any other insects that have a life cycle that is similar to the moth and the butterfly?
It's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. It's time to practice what we learned. It's time to go to work.
All right, students, we're almost at the finish line. Please turn to page 124 in your distance learning packets. There you will find today's student activity. It's entitled Sentence Writing. Here are the directions. Write a sentence using each of these high-frequency words and then read the sentence back to yourself out loud. Here are the words you're going to be using. Please read them along with me. Another, inside, isn't, pretty, process, similar, usually. So guys, these are all words that we've covered during today's lesson. So again, you're going to just write a sentence using that word and then read the sentence back to yourself out loud to see if it makes sense. All right, guys, go ahead and pause this video, get started with your sentence writing. I'll meet you back here in a few. See you soon. Second graders, we made it to the finish line. Thank you so much for learning with me today. It has been truly a pleasure, and I look forward to teaching you again soon. Before I let you go, I have 2 reminders. The first is to remember to read 20 minutes today and complete a reading log entry, which is located at the front of your distance learning packet. Also, guys, remember to please practice those high frequency words using the words listed in your packet. As always, it's been a pleasure. It's me, Miss B, signing off. Have an awesome day.